Tonight, in the Archbishop Earl Paulk sexual abuse lawsuit, a DeKalb judge recently awarded $1 million in attorney's fees to Paulk's lawyers. Well, now a former prosecutor calls that ruling improper. The former prosecutor is concerned that the judge who made that ruling is a friend and a political supporter of a witness who was set to testify in the case. Senior I-Team reporter Dale Russell says that witness is running for the U.S. Senate. Dale?
Russ, it just keeps on going, doesn't it? DeKalb County CEO and U.S. Senate candidate Vernon Jones was scheduled to appear in court in the Earl Paulk case. But when his friend, Judge Mark Anthony Scott, awarded attorney's fees in the case, Jones' appearance was called off.
God may not come when you want him, but he'll come on time.
For 2 years, the Archbishop Earl Paulk sexual misconduct lawsuit has been a roller coaster ride. From women accusing him in court proceedings of molesting them as children to his felony conviction for lying about his sexual past. All capped off recently with the DeKalb judge granting $1 million in attorney's fees to Paulk's lawyers.
It's just unheard of. It makes no sense.
Now former DeKalb prosecutor J. Tom Morgan, who represents Patty Battle, who says she was one of Paulk's girlfriends, says politics may have played a role in the $1 million ruling.
And $1 million attorney's fees in a case where, again, it is amazing that the defendant, Mr. Paulk, during this period of time has admitted to felony perjury.
Appreciate the ministry of Sister Mona. Let's thank her today.
2 years ago, church soloist Mona Brewer and her husband sued internationally known DeKalb megachurch Archbishop Earl Paulk, the founder of the cathedral at Chapel Hill. Her suit claimed he convinced her it was God's will for her to satisfy his sexual needs. 8 other women swore under oath they also had sexual affairs with Paulk.
We could conclusively prove that he has had sex with someone other than Mona Brewer.
During the case, Paulk confessed he lied under oath when he denied having sex with anyone other than his wife and Mona Brewer. He pleaded guilty to perjury.
Are you in fact guilty?
Yes, sir.
DNA tests showed Paulk is the biological father of his sister-in-law's son, Pastor D.E. Paulk.
Do you have any idea?
In a legal maneuver, the Brewers dismissed their lawsuit handled by Judge Mark Anthony Scott and then later refiled a similar suit before a different judge. While the second case was continuing, in a rare ruling, Judge Scott found the Brewers' claim in their original lawsuit to be frivolous and awarded more than $1 million in attorney's fees to Archbishop Earl Paulk's lawyers.
This is completely unheard of. You can ask any attorney that this is very, very rare. And again, attorney's fees are only awarded when it's been a completely frivolous suit. It is not a frivolous suit.
Now, J. Tom Morgan says Judge Scott's ruling raises a cloud of political suspicion. Why? Because Judge Scott's ruling delayed the second lawsuit just 6 days before the judge's friend and political supporter, DeKalb CEO Vernon Jones, was set to appear in court as a witness.
Last October, Vernon Jones gave a deposition in the Earl Paulk case. According to court records, Jones refused to answer questions about his personal relationship with Patty Battle. She was once a key member of Paulk's church and admitted under oath she had a sexual relationship with Earl Paulk. She is also the mother of Jessica Battle, who sued Paulk, accusing him of sexual molestation. CEO Vernon Jones was set to come back into court to tell a judge why he shouldn't answer those questions. But Judge Scott's ruling delayed Jones' appearance in court. The reason, Paulk's attorneys argue, the second suit can't continue until the $1 million legal fees are paid. So the case has been put on hold.
Do you think it was political?
All I can say is that under these circumstances, the presiding judge over this case should have deferred it to another judge to issue a ruling so you wouldn't have this cloud of suspicion over this ruling.
Vernon Jones' spokesperson admits Jones is a good friend of Judge Mark Anthony Scott. They are both in the same fraternity. Jones was one of Scott's biggest contributors during Scott's campaign. Neither Jones nor Judge Scott would comment about the ruling. But J. Tom Morgan says to remove that cloud of suspicion, Judge Scott should have told attorneys in the Paulk case about his relationship with Vernon Jones.
Their relationship is very strong, it's very tight. Mr. Jones endorsed this judge, and effectively this judge's ruling helps Mr. Jones during this campaign.
Is that improper?
Yes, I think it is very much improper.
And another twist in this ongoing story, Mona Brewer has filed for divorce from her husband, Bobby Brewer. He had no comment. She says that their case against the Archbishop will continue. Russ?
Okay, so Vernon Jones running for the U.S. Senate, the election, of course, in November. How long will this delay the case?
Well, we know it's going to be at least 30 days. There's got to be a judge's ruling coming up that's going to decide how this thing is going to proceed. It could be a lot longer than that. Conceivably, it could be delayed. His appearance in this case could be delayed until after the election.
While the other side tries to come up with the money, right?
Right. That's what they've got to come up with $1 million in attorney's fees, and the defendants are saying that until that's paid, the other case can't go forward.
All right. Dale, thanks for